Hello Leos, how are you doing? So this is going to be your astrology for April. So on the 4th of April, we have Venus in your 11th house. Now Venus is all about, how can I put it, your love and also your money. So when it's in your 11th house, it's all about your dreams, your wishes. And this will be a very important time for you to really lock down on what it is that you really want, what dreams and wishes that you really have for yourself. What do you want to create for yourself? Where do you need to invest more time into yourself? You know, Venus is all about that love, but that love starts with self. And it's a good time to really invest in self, looking at what you want to cultivate in your life, what wishes you want to fulfill, how do you want to feel motivated, and what you can create. It's all that energy that, I think that energy for Leo is very beautiful in the sense that you are very quirky, like you'll have very dramatic flair and this energy and this fire to you. And given this energy, even the most Leos that seem introverted, because we all have other placements. I mean, our birth chart has plenty of placements. And I can obviously do a reading to interpret your placements for you if you would like that. But if you're a sun, moon, or rising Leo, this energy is really about your social interactions and bringing it out of you, in the sense that what dreams and wishes do you want when you interact for others to see and to feel inspired, feel motivated. It's even a time where we can look at humanity, because that energy of the 11th house is about, what do I want to create for myself that I can actually give back to the collective humanity as a whole? It's a very good time for looking at projects too and having that creative influence coming through for you. Then also on the 8th, we're going to have the full moon, and that's going to be in your 3rd house. Now, the 3rd house is ruled by everything of communication, and that's the full moon energy. So anything that you started prior to this, you could have it come through when it's that 3rd house energy. Like if you applied for, something that you wanted for yourself, a job, finance, all of those things, you could come through with this full moon because of it being an energy of completion. So anything that you've started previously and wanted completed could come through for you. And you can really network during that time. So networking, interactions, really bringing forth what you want to create. And it doesn't only have to be in person, it can also be over the internet and also interacting in that way. Even with the 11th house energy coming in through with the Venus on the 4th of April for you in your 11th house, it's all about interacting, but you can also be interacting online and creating this energy within yourself. Allow for this lovely energy to come through for you, Leo. It is a beautiful month for you. There is a lot of self-care. There is a lot of energy focusing on your dreams and desires, and you planting these seeds to actually see them come about in the future as well. So any networking can happen. The only thing I would say during the full moon is watch for your communication, because being that it's a full moon, it's when we can, how can I say? We are fiery after all. So we could be letting it really loose, letting our feelings really out there as well. The communication for you would be very, very intense, letting out all your feelings, anger, frustration as well in your intimate relationships, as it is in the 3rd house. But remember, that's going to be a super full moon. So the full moon will be closest to the earth, and it's going to be in Libra. Libra rules relationships. So it's where we kind of also just let loose with our communication and say things that maybe later on we either might regret. But always remember to stay true to yourself. And if anyone is overstepping the boundaries, set the tone, Leo, and say where it needs to be. Raw if you need to. Do those things. Set the boundaries and know where they also should, like where your boundaries are with people. But at the same time, also do not give into that energy to say things that you wouldn't necessarily also mean. So knowing to keep the difference there, because it is that Mercury energy, and Mercury is all about communication. It's about any kind of communication. It doesn't mean the communication that we're having is always like, how can I put it to you, proper or thought out communication. It's just information that needs to be said. So I'm letting it rip, and I didn't think about how I could say this to you in a different kind of way. I'm just letting it loose in our relationships, because that full moon, that super full moon, which is more intense because it's closest to the earth, will be in Libra. So in our relationship sector. But other than that, if you're looking at your career aspects and anything that you want to create with this networking in that field, especially with that energy of Venus coming into your 11th house on the 4th of April, you can make your dreams and desires actually come to being. So use this energy very wisely. During the 20th of the month, we have the energy moving into your 10th house. 20th of the month is basically when the sun is going to move into Taurus. So the sun joining Uranus. Taurus has Uranus in it now, and it's all about changes that we want to create. And then the 23rd, 24th, we're going to have the new moon energy in Taurus, which will be in your 10th house of career and how you basically are seen and perceived and what you want to create, what new beginnings, how do you set the tone. So I want you to notice there's a lot of emphasis of new things that can be created within your relationships. Well, not your relationships, more your relationships when it comes to what you want to create for yourself, what dreams you want to fulfill in that aspect. So more your relationships when it comes to your networking and career sector. So dreams and wishes with that 11th house energy, networking with that 3rd house energy, and then the 10th house is obviously the energy of basically career. How are we seen? What do we want to put out there? How do we actually bring all this energy to, out of ourselves and actually into the real world, so it's seen? That's that 10th house energy. The one thing that I can say is that we're going to have Mars throughout April in your 7th house, which is also important because this energy is basically going to make you want to take action in your relationships, feel motivated in your relationship sector in the 7th house. But also remember that Mars energy can, especially if you've been in a relationship for a while, can actually really want you to push what you want in a relationship. What do you feel I want? What is important for me? This is what I really think is best for me. It's good to have that, but remember, relationships are about compromise. So you might also feel that you're getting this Mars God of War energy coming through within your relationships. So on the relationship side, it's really important to watch your speech, what you say, and the actions that you take. But when it comes to the things you want to create, when it comes to your career, the new dreams and visions you have for yourself, because there's a lot of change going on in the world currently. So there are going to be changes that we're going to want to make. Pay attention to those things because they will give you lots of rewards. Allow for them to come through. And thank you for watching.